I feel like this album is very much like me as a whole. Like all these songs, there's the sassiness, the trashiness, the sad girl vibes, and it's me. I mean, this album was my introduction to the world on like who is Priscilla Block, and I think you get that when you listen to it. And there's songs that will make you laugh your ass off, and then some songs that will just make you cry your eyes out when you're driving down the car, and I feel like that is very much of where I'm at right now in my life. I'm like either the life of the party or the train wreck falling apart. No one knows, it's just kind of a toss-up. Just About Over You was obviously the song that changed my whole life, but there's something really cool with Like a Boy. I just think it's a very solidly written song, and it brings you back to that heartbreak that we've all gone through, but there's kind of light at the end of the tunnel at the end, and it's just, I don't know, I think it's a really strong song, and I'm really proud of that one. I feel like yesterday, Just About Over You blew up, but like also it feels like it's been 10 years since that song. All I've ever wanted to do is sing country music, and hopefully one day have the opportunity to take this thing bigger. And Just About Over You was a song that allowed me to do that. I finally felt like people started waking up, and they're like, who is this girl? Like, where did she come from? I'm like, hey guys, like I've been here, and it was cool because I thought like, I knew that it was my moment and it was my shot to win people over or not. Luckily it's worked out, so we're doing pretty good. My bar is just a sassy, I like to say it's like a sassy banger. And I felt that the day that I wrote that song. There is just something in it that I feel like we can all relate to. We all have our places that we go to. And if someone's trying to find you, they're gonna know where to go. And that's where this song comes from. It's like, you've got Just About Over You, where it's like sad, like you ruined my night. I'm at the bar, like you could have just given me this night. And then My Bar follows it up, and it's like, you know what? I'm not leaving this bar because you're here. This is my bar. It's just super duper special, and it's been really cool, you know, people sharing like, this is my bar, and hearing about that. I love the song so much. So the music video was super fun to make, very hot. I think it was over 100 degrees that day. I am like sweating, like puddles under each freaking knocker. I am like dying outside. And the whole video is this metaphor kind of about how I've built this thing. And a lot of it has just been with my closest friends, my band. And the beginning of this video is this open field with nothing. And throughout it, you know, my friends, my band, we're all there just like nail by nail building out this bar. By the end of it, there's hundreds of people at this bar and everyone's singing the song with you, and I think it's just really cool, and it kind of symbolizes my career and kind of how I've gotten here. It's through those close people in my life, and we finally were making something big where people started noticing, and here we are. Off the Deep End is just a fun party. When I wrote this song, honestly, the day that I showed up for this write, first of all, I wasn't even gonna show up to it. I was supposed to have a day off, and my publisher called me and he was like, hey, I know you just have one day off, but would you wanna write today? And I was like, dude, I'm so tired. Like, I am exhausted. And I hung up the phone, and I texted him right back, and I was like, actually, I should go to that write. Anyways, we all got into the room, and Martin had a title called The Deep End. And I was like, yo, we should write one just about going off the deep end, getting crazy, and let it be something that girls and their bachelorette parties can get super excited about. And it's cool because I was actually just talking to a friend, and they said that they hear the bars on wheels going up and down Broadway, and it's like these bachelorette girls that are singing Off the Deep End. It's fun, it's about letting loose, just a good feel good song. Thick Thighs is a song that makes me feel so dang good. And I wrote that song about taking a situation that people might be scared to talk about, or maybe doesn't make me feel the greatest at times, and I made it positive. And it is a song that just has become one of our biggest songs, and it is the body positivity anthem. I wrote Thick Thighs about anybody that's ever made me feel like about myself. And you know, it's like, I'm a curvy girl, I'm gonna sing about it. It helps me out sometimes, maybe when I'm not feeling so great. And it's like, it's about owning who you are, being confident in your own skin, and if you don't like it, gotta go. Wish You Were the Whiskey feels like a stadium banger. That is like the words that I used when we were recording that song. I wanted it to feel like a stadium banger. Honestly, that song I wrote over 4 years ago, before I had my record deal, before anybody kind of had their eyes on this. And I remember, you know, I was playing in the bars, I had my own fake booking company, and I was Melanie Johnston reaching out on behalf of my artist, Priscilla. Like, I was doing everything to try and make it. And that was a song that I remember thinking maybe I should try and write a song for somebody else. And I totally had Jason Aldean in mind when I wrote it. I was like doing everything. I was getting my TikTok people to go tag him and shit. Like, it was crazy, but it's the song that, it's funny that it never landed anywhere else, because when I sing it, it feels very me. I couldn't imagine that not being my song. I'm always thinking of stadium bangers, okay? Whether it's the outfit that I'm wearing or the song that I'm writing. Like, let's go big, let's be loud. Being able to take this thing kind of worldwide has been super special. It's been a huge goal of mine to, you know, why wouldn't I try and reach as many people as possible? And it was just so cool going out to Europe and seeing the fans again. You know, I went out there for C2C, which is a big country festival out there. And the reaction was so special that first time that I knew that I needed to make it a priority, going back and just connecting with the fans. And I want to just take this thing internationally and let it be as big as possible. And it's so cool when you meet people that live in a different country that are connecting to your music. It's very eye-opening and super, super special. When I'm going in to write a song, what has worked for me is writing about my life. I think that when you go into a room and you know you're writing, you have to achieve something else. I think it just takes the organic thing that could happen out of the room. If I'm a train wreck, we're writing about that. If I got arrested last night, I guess we might be writing about that. I don't know. Just, if I'm brokenhearted, we'll write about that. Sometimes it's hard where I'm like, man, am I ever gonna have time to like, just go make some mistakes or something? I don't know, like go to the bar and like have some inspiration. But whenever I'm needing that, like I'll pull through, you know, from my friends' breakups that they're just talking to me about, that I'm like, I've been there. Or I'll go back in my journal and just go put myself back into a time where I'm like, I never wrote this, I need to write this. So yeah, I wouldn't say like every single day I'm like, oh, what else could I write about myself? You know what I mean? Maybe it's the dogs, I don't know. I am very, very excited to say that I now have a song with Justin Moore, and that is such a dream. I haven't really done a duet yet. This is my first ever duet, and the song, I didn't write it, so this is the first song that I'm singing on that I haven't written. And I remember when I listened to it, I was like, this song is special. And it felt so much like me. It just felt like the easiest yes. Justin's great, the song's great. I felt like it was authentic to who I was, and I think it shows through when you listen to it. Best piece of advice that I've gotten as a songwriter is to not feel like I have to be a part of the cool kids. I think when you're writing and, you know, hopefully wanting to land on hits, I think it's easy to want to write with like the best songwriters in the world. And you're like, if I can just get in the room with this person, like my life will change. And I don't necessarily think that's always the case. It's about making music that you're proud of. And this far, some of my favorite songs and the songs that the fans have responded to the best, I've just been writing with my friends. Not to say that it's pretty damn awesome when you get into the room with a songwriter that's been doing this and has tons of hits under their belts. It's amazing. But yeah, somebody told me a long time ago, they were like, Priscilla, just keep doing what you're doing. And you don't have to become part of the cool crowd of people that have the hits, you know? Like, start your own thing. And it's been really, really awesome to see my friends, you know, sign publishing deals. And we're all, you know, kind of this next, hopefully, wave of hit songwriters. TikTok is an insane platform. And what I found that works on TikTok is organic content. Anytime I try to recreate something that somebody's already done, it doesn't work. Anytime that I overthink videos, chances are it doesn't work. Like, push out content after content after content, be you, let it be authentic, and it works. I have a sense of loyalty towards everyone that follows me on TikTok because they have been with me on this journey since day one. And yes, there is a little bit of pressure, but it's pressure that I put on myself because I want to stay, you know, on top of stuff and like let people see what I'm doing. You know, it's this, what I'm doing, it's every bit of theirs that it is mine. TikTok, it is home for me. I love it. Every time I get on there, I don't think about it. When I get on Instagram, I'll be rethinking the same damn caption for an hour. And instead, on TikTok, I can just make a video and be like, hey, what's up? Just me changing in my front seat, no big deal. I was at such a weird place in my life when I moved to Nashville. I was this young girl that had no clue what she was doing. I just was hoping for a sign. And I was at my breaking point and I was about to pack my things and go back home. And that day, Taylor Swift was driving by my work and I was leaving work and I happened to be wearing a Taylor Swift t-shirt. She pulled her car over on the side of the road and hopped into her passenger seat and was like, hey, I love your shirt. And I was like, hey, I was like, wait, what is happening? I mean, I love you too. It was the weirdest thing. I literally think I was like tripping out or something. But finally, deer in headlights went off and I was like, wow, I should probably walk up and say hi. And we talked for a little bit and it was like, I didn't need to tell her that I did music. Everyone was like, you missed your shot. And looking back, I'm like, maybe I did. Could have sped this thing up a little bit. But it was everything that I needed that day to keep going. And I swear that was like God saying, girl, like stay out here, keep doing what you're doing. That doesn't happen all the time. And it was just a huge eye-opening moment. I was like, I'm either gonna sit in my misery and have excuses on why I can't make it, or I'm gonna go make it happen. When Taylor stopped me, I needed that moment for many reasons, but I learned so much from that experience, and I wanna be able, in my own artistry, to make everybody that I encounter feel special, and you just never know what anybody's going through. And so that day I was like, I can't wait until I can pull somebody over in a Priscilla Block t-shirt and be like, hey, I love your shirt! You know what I mean? And here we are. Yeah, I guess that is happening now. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, when people come up to me, it really hasn't sunk in yet. I'm like, I'm not that cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool, it's very flattering, and it means a lot that people feel like they can approach me and say, hey, like, you know, either just sharing their story or just wanting a picture. I'm like, I was that girl, and I still am that girl. If I see somebody that I love and I want to get a picture with them, I'm gonna march up to them and say, hey, can I get a picture? I'm a huge fan, and I think that that's pretty awesome. Criticism is something that I don't think anybody fully deals with great. I mean, it's hard when someone says they don't like something, especially if you feel. Every artist is a feeler. So it's not easy, but I always try and focus on the good things that people say. And that is when you know, when you have criticism and you've got a bunch of love, then that means you're doing something right, because people care. I try to ignore it, and you know, it's easy to want to go and find those mean comments, but most of the times, it's one comment versus 100, and I try to focus on the 100 good ones. Well, I don't even know what that Cardi B quote is, but she said something along the lines of like, I actually posted on Instagram. It was like, I don't care about anybody not liking me, you just barely like yourself. And that is what I live by. Cardi B, gotta go.